all comes from being a Libra.
Oh, you're a Libra. Okay.
Yeah, that's.
Now, is it rude to ask a man's age? Because I was gonna bring your age up, but we don't have to go there.
No, I'm 28.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Almost Spicy Podcast. My name is Francisco. This is Ben.
Tis I, DJ back on my bullshit.
DJ back on his bullshit. Today we have a special guest. Student 1 is in the building.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for having me. What's up?
My guy, thanks for coming through.
Yeah. Thank you.
And feel free to grab this whenever, too.
Yeah, no, so tell us who you are. Just give us a rundown. So who is Student 1?
I just make music with a backpack full of weed in it. And, okay, I don't know, maybe not full. Maybe
it's not full.
Just enough for me to smoke before and after.
People always ask you that, right? Like, what's in the backpack?
Yeah.
Because for everybody who doesn't know, Student 1 will perform with a backpack every show?
Every show. Yeah,
and that's your signature?
Yeah. That's like my little thing.
And you have
I never knew.
Or no?
Every now and then, like one notebook and shit. But
Right,
I don't want to tell people in the crowd that, like, when they're like, "What's in the bag?" Like, I'm just like,
school supplies. No.
Weed. yeah.
Weed. It's weed.
Yeah, it's weed.
It's fucking awesome.
yeah.
Dude, that's badass, man. So he's a dude with a backpack.
He's a dude with a backpack. So,
yeah.
like, give us a background of that, like, persona. So, like, why Student 1? Why have you just been this student, and why do you continue? That's like your stage name and persona and everything. Like,
yeah. After I graduated out of high school, I went into community college to like get my associates, and then I don't know. It was fine, like the workload and shit, but I just wasn't really feeling it. And then I dropped out, and it was this like whole thing with like my mom, because it's just been like her and I growing up. So she was just like, bro.
You have to study, or?
She was just she like came to America when she was like 17.
Okay.
And so she's like really traditional.
Okay.
I guess I could say. And she was just like, all right, well, if you're not gonna do school, what are you gonna do?
Where did she come from?
Ethiopia.
Okay.
oh wow,
Dope.
She's one of 10 kids.
Damn.
And she was the first to leave.
That's wild.
At 17, just being like, I'm out. That's wild.
To the U.S. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. You had the Ethiopian in you.
Yeah. So are like the rest of your like family now here? Like your uncles and aunts and stuff like that.
About more than half
Yeah.
of like the kids, and then like my grandma and my grandpa's passed away, but like my grandma's still out in Ethiopia.
Oh wow.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of the family members that moved here like go over there for like several months and visit and say what's up and stuff like that.
Yeah, my partner, she's from Ethiopia.
Oh,
born
yeah.
here. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, her dad's out there and like family out there, and yeah, I've heard good things though. Have you ever been to Ethiopia?
I went there when I was 8, but I want to go back like now.
Yeah.
Now that I can like talk to people and like drink and hit the bar.
Literally, yeah. I think there was some kind of peace treaty recently with the Civil War. They call it the Silent War because I think it's one of the biggest wars, but it just doesn't get talked about. Kind of thing. But yeah, I think there was some kind of peace treaty maybe a few months ago, but I don't know really the status.
Yeah.
Of how it is over there.
It was like my mom was talking to me about something recently. Like, I don't know if it's happening in like the capital city. I think it's like more on the countryside, but just like people have just been getting like gunned down and by like, I don't even know like what the situation is there, but I just know that like the government isn't really like intervening, so it just keeps happening.
It just happens.
Yeah, and just like shit's really rough over there right now.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, especially if you want to go do a vacation or anything. It's kind of like finding an ideal time is difficult. Sometimes you just got to do it at that point. You're like, okay, I'll take the risk. Of maybe walking through a war site.
Just not know you're biting off more you could chew. Maybe.
Like somebody who's born there or something can go back. Like my girlfriend's dad, he'll go back and he's selling stuff and like getting comfortable being there and like, yeah, I mean, a lot, like Minnesota doesn't work for a lot of people, like a lot of warm-blooded people, like my mom wants to go back to Mexico, like it gets cold here, man. And how long have you been in Minnesota now?
Since I was 3.
Okay.
And I feel like I've just got this like wild tolerance for the cold. Like,
Bruh, yeah. You gotta be different.
yeah.
Survive this shit.
You gotta 100% be different. Like I've lived here like most of my life. But I wasn't like from here. Like I was born in like Houston.
Oh,
like,
okay.
I got like that. Like I think that's always been instilled in me, just like warmth and like warm blood. Like I need that.
Yeah.
And like I want to be out of this state so bad because I hate the cold so much, so much. But yeah,
it hurts.
This place will make you hate it for real,
dude.
Like,
yeah, man. No, and just the lack of sun affects people a lot too. Like the SAD or whatever, the depression. Whatever the seasonal, right?
Yeah.
very, very real.
So yeah, just running it back. Once again, this is Almost Spicy podcast with Student One, and maybe somebody is a fan of yours and found this interview. Maybe they have no idea who you are. So, to me, what's interesting is like influences. So, can you run us through some of your influences? You're a hip hop artist. You consider yourself a lyricist, composer. You produce too, right?
Yeah. Like this album I just dropped, that's all produced by my homie Corey.
Okay.
But,
congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
We're gonna get to that album in just a little bit.
Hell yeah. The album before that was like produced by like a handful of people, and then like 3 or 4 songs were produced by me. So I'm still kind of finding a footing with the production, but slowly but surely.
And you're in Ableton.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Crazy. The only way.
So why did you pick Ableton over any other DAW?
It was.
I'm always curious about this.
It was my manager's suggestion. Like at the time, he was like, Ableton might be the move, and I was just like, I don't know what you're saying.
I don't know what you're saying.
And then it was pretty much like a year and a half of him like figuring out how to like.
That's how long it takes.
Yeah,
Literally.
and I'm just like,
it's not less. Like you have to, and it can be more, and it is more. Like,
yeah.
If you're doing it every day, then maybe you'll be okay in a year. Like.
Yeah.
And
100%.
And that's not even like mentioning all like the YouTube videos and tutorials he probably like watched to get to where he was at. Like the whole time I was just over his shoulder like, cool. And then eventually I could like make a beat, and then I took off from there.
Dude, fuck yeah. Yeah, we're talking about your manager, whose name is Alec.
Yup.
Great.
Shout out Coins.
Great gentleman, Coins. And my perception of the two of you has always been like that you know what you're doing and you know what's going on. Like even with being like, on Ableton however many years ago, or like, he seems like he probably had Bitcoin, like 2015, 2016 and shit, like before a lot of the big waves. It just gives me that vibe. Like I had a friend, who's ordering stuff on the internet, in 2013 with Bitcoin, and it's not always legal stuff, but it's always high quality stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like, but then it's funny because you spend the money on that, and it's like, oh, you could have held a little bit of it and
literally
had a lot of money.
It's wild. Fucking
dude,
he's always been on that. Like I just remember like being in his house when he was living in Dinkytown, and he would just be like he'd have like timers on his computer for like when he should order Yeezys or like
holy shit.
like
the trade.
Yeah, no, like he was on top of that like
Internet money kind of shit, like
on God.
Yeah, but like I was just looking at my DMs with him, and I think he first reached out to me May 2017. So it's what is that 5 years ago?
5 years, damn near.
A little bit over 5 years.
Yeah. And I don't know if I knew you before that, but around then, between 2015, 2017.
I feel like that had to have been the time. I feel like I met you around the same time I met Lux and Longley.
Yeah.
Micro Penis.
Like 2016 must have been, yeah. I mean, that was like, we were doing a lot back then. But I remember your manager hit me up for a t-shirt, that you kind of wanted a t-shirt for this music video.
Oh,
it had, like,
a
colorful like design.
Yeah.
With like checkers and stuff. And I don't know if you ever used the t-shirt in a video, but
Was that Idol?
it was the Idol stuff. Yeah.
Oh, I remember that shit.
It's so funny because like, so we met each other like at a restaurant, and we started like working together.
Yeah.
But I had like known a lot of the work and stuff he'd done like years before.
Oh,
like,
damn.
I remember seeing like Idol and everything because I was a big fan of like Alan Kingdom and like The Standard and like everybody else, and I saw like a lot of the stuff. I even saw like I never went to it, but like a lot of the shows that he was like putting on, whether it was like Buckfest stuff or anything, I was seeing like all this stuff. I never went to them, but I was like, oh, I wanted to go.
Yeah.
But nobody like wanted to go with me to any of them, which
That's
like
fun,
sucked.
man.
But like, it's funny how like all this like comes full circle because literally like I found out he did the Idol stuff and I was like, what the fuck, like
Isn't that
crazy? Like,
that's insane. Like that reminds me, I was honestly like looking for that shirt for like the longest time. Like it's somewhere. Like it's somewhere like at the crib.
Yeah.
I feel like I pulled up to like your spot where there were like a drum set and like a mic set up.
We had a few studios over the years.
Yeah.
And I think northeast Minneapolis.
I think that's where it was.
We were trapping out of there. Yeah, you have a lot of music videos. Like you have a good collection.
Yeah.
I was going through your YouTube channel and like you have just some good work. And it's been a lot of years going back to this kind of time thing. You've been working for a while now. And I know we didn't really talk about your influences yet.
Oh yeah, we can get back to that.
But yeah, it's just like do you plan on stopping ever?
Not anytime soon.
Yeah.
But I feel like even just when it comes to like taking a break and just taking a step back and kind of like just evaluating where things are at and going forward from there.
Yeah.
Like even that shit is like hard. Like if it takes like too much time, I'm just like, fuck, am I just like not doing anything right now? And like,
there's no. I mean, it's just about the natural flow of stuff. Like, just being present. You know, we always go back to being present on this show. But just with the music stuff, it's a hard industry. But you are someone I consider like successful. Like, am I wrong in assuming that you're collecting, decent amount of royalties and your manager's been able to set you up and you've got, tens of thousands of views and, you tell me the number across the board, hundreds of thousands, millions of streams?
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Not everybody can say that. So that's pretty crazy, dude. Congratulations.
Appreciate you. Thank you, man.
Yeah. He was pretty impressed because I was just running through your accolades, like with the Tirawak feature and then, the Simon track 5 years back and then your latest record, Off the Dust, right?
Yep.
Mixed by
Alex Toomey.
Right?
Shout out Alex Toomey.
And if people don't know who Alex Toomey is, please tell us who Alex Toomey is.
Well, I'm not gonna say who he is, but I was blown away that you did get that because that is like such a like industry thing now because he's like done fucking everybody.
And well, he got a lot from Young Thug, right? Was kind of his big.
That was how I knew about him.
Yeah.
And
but that album's been in the works for like what, more than 3 years now, right?
It was 3 years, yeah.
Since you started working with the mixing side of this, or not?
Like 3. I think, okay, so like 2 years ago, the album was done.
Okay.
And then the mixing process was about like 2 years just because like he was busy and I was also like, this is the first time I've ever had to like have a serious back and forth with like an engineer and I didn't really know how to explain why I wanted things the way I wanted them. Like my voice sounds a little boxy or something.
Right. Those descriptions.
Yeah. And so I would just kind of like not be very clear.
Yeah.
So like it was like a mixture of like those things, but
so it would take time because of that too. Like, that's what you can attribute to that. That's
But now I know how to like explain things to an engineer now because of that.
Everything's learning experience.
Yeah.
Like,
I still felt like kind of embarrassed though, cause like after like we got everything sorted out, I like DM'd him on Instagram. I was like, I'm sorry if I sounded like an idiot, man. And he was just like, nah, dude, you're all good.
Yeah.
Like, just like whatever sounds good. Let me know what it is.
Yeah.
We gonna figure it out. And I was
a lot of those guys are good at knowing what you mean.
Yeah.
It's kind of like after a while they start to be able to.
Kind of like a sixth sense that they develop.
Interpret what those words, boxy, like things that aren't even related to sound. You might be like, it sounds,
literally,
like whatever it is.
Well, and a lot
cornflakes.
of times they describe it. Cornflakes, but they describe it by like colors and shit like.
Oh, a lot of It's crazy how you can describe something with anything. Like,
you can like give sound a texture. And stuff like that.
Yes, 100%. I used to like I can't say like I'm at a professional level by any means, but I used to do a lot of mixing for like some of my friends and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, what they were doing before and then what I did to their work, like exponentially changed. And I was almost like executive producing a lot of it too, where it was like helping them like take their sound to a completely different level than they ever like thought. I think there's a lot of like people that are like engineers and everything that when you sit down with like an artist and like they start describing like what they want, and then suddenly they start to like shape and shift it in like such a completely different way than you could even like imagine it to be. So I always think about that from my own experience, like how that like impacted, because it's so cool. Like when you mix and master something and it completely changes like a demo from being like this just like rugged like rough piece of work where it's bleeding here, it's bleeding there, and then you like have it leveled out,
it's all shiny,
the vocals sound like fucking pristine, like, all that shit.
No.
Yeah, hey, no problem.
I'm having it anyways. Bye,
I don't
guys.
think so. Bye. Yeah, dude, that's it's dope. Yeah, and it's a different experience to like work with somebody in person, and then this was remote work that you were doing.
Yeah.
Okay. Emailing back and forth, and how many versions, like on average, per song?
There had to have been like, I think 3 across like just for the whole album.
Okay.
And then there were like 2 that needed like, I think there were like 5 versions of like
shit.
There
Certain
were like
tracks?
2. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was the ones that like had auto tune on them and stuff.
Did he do the auto tune?
I did.
Oh, you did the auto tune.
Yeah. And I didn't realize like I like kind of snuck in a little reverb in some of the vocals that like I didn't really like want like too much reverb to be in.
But you had it in there anyway, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, and then I like sat on it for like 2 weeks. I was just like, I don't know if I like this, and then like 2 weeks passed, and I was like, honestly, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude, that's such a funny thing about like the music. Like you can sit on it, like, and it'll sound different after you didn't hear
Literally.
it, 10 times in a row. Like when you hear anything 10 times in a row, you're like, what the fuck is this?
I mean, yeah, it's listening fatigue.
Yeah, listening
like
fatigue.
I can't
like
tell.
demo-itis.
Yeah.
Wow, I never heard it said like that.
I can't. It's the same thing. Like
Demo-itis.
so, like I do photography and like everything else. Like I've stared at people's faces for so long.
God.
and
Yeah,
I get
yeah.
sick of people's faces. You know, after a while, they could be the most beautiful person ever, and I'm like, just
I'm
absolutely, I'm done. Right. Oh, we lost a camera, but that's okay. That's okay. We still rolling.
Still rolling.
But I think just kind of the funniest thing is like, especially when you're like listening to something after a while, like I've made so much music where I'm like, this is fucking sick. I like make it, I like bounce it, and then I'm just like chilling. I wake up the next day, I listen to it, I'm like, this fucking sucks. like fuck.
It literally goes both ways.
I don't know what I was thinking. Like this was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
It gives me like it kind of gives me this like whenever I make something that like I'm feeling like in the moment, and then I like bounce it, and then I listen to it. I'm like there have been so many instances where like I'll make something, 2 weeks will pass and I'll hate it, and then other instances where I'll make something, 2 weeks will pass and I love it. So it's just like shortly after I make something, I'm just like, all right, I don't know what's about to happen. So like it's like I'm not nervous and I'm not excited. I'm just kind of like, let's see what happens. Like,
You gotta sit on it. It's like a cake or whatever. Like putting it in the oven and just like going back and listening and all that, man. Fucking yeah, dude. That shit's fun. The music stuff. But there's so many technicalities. Like when you bounce and like it has to be the right sample and everything, like sample rate or whatever. And it's like it's weird, man. A lot of the stuff can take the fun out of like the creation.
I would
you know? Even a lot of the business stuff. I actually just got my first BMI deposit.
Oh,
it was
nice.
like almost $8. I'm like super hyped.
Let's go.
Are you BMI or ASCAP?
ASCAP.
ASCAP, okay.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. And you're bankrolling a little bit?
A little bit.
A little bit.
Just teeny tiny bit, yeah.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, man.
Just enough to pay for coffee.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Dude. Yeah.
That's the fucked up thing about this streaming aspect of it is like.
Yeah. I mean, it pays just normal, right? I mean, it's not great, you know.
Yeah, it's like it's yeah. I feel like normal, not great.
Yeah.
And
you need to have the numbers, and like, what do you think about like some of these bots, like some of these big artists like using bots and like stream farms and all this kind of shit? Like,
that shit's just wild. It's just kind of like it takes the fun out of like the journey for me.
Yeah.
It's just like
to know that like some of the biggest artists are doing that, right?
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know, just like personally I just couldn't do it because there's something about like like dropping something and then just like shit going crazy and you're like just like I don't know why they like that way more than all this other shit. Like I like that's my favorite song. Why don't y'all like that one?
Right.
I don't know. Shit like that's fascinating to me. So it's like to manipulate it
and get a guaranteed result.
Yeah, like fake. Even if you're like, and I don't know, like you'll eventually get caught, right?
I don't know if they do. I think a lot of this stuff is like they get away with it. Like I just know that it's been confirmed. Like a Travis Scott or like G-Eazy, like millions of.
I feel like labels are notorious for doing that with like artists that they want to like keep afloat.
Bro, yeah, because I mean it all is propping up like the booking fees, like $100,000 or whatever for an act, like. But it's all backed up by these, strong Spotify numbers or whatever. Like, I don't know. I don't know what to make of it.
Yeah, it's wild.
What do you think about this kind of like Web3 stuff, where like you can maybe make more money off of a piece of MP3 or something?
Web3,
like crypto, like music.
Oh,
like putting.
I didn't even know
like
there
NFT,
was like a.
Like you can NFT
oh,
your
okay,
music.
I see. Yeah. Okay, I actually now that you say that, I actually did that with. There's a song that I made with. I don't want to mention the dude's name just because he got quote unquote.
It's not out yet.
Canceled? No. He.
Canceled.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a while back, I made a song with POS before all that shit happened.
Oh.
And
I didn't know that he was really canceled, but okay.
Yeah. I honestly I haven't looked into it. I probably leave all this shit out.
Right.
But the dude that produced the beat. He ended up turning the song into an NFT.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, that's cool. I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah.
But
just the beat, basically?
Or just no, the whole song.
Oh, the whole song was turned into an NFT. Okay.
Yeah. And
did you see any profit from it or?
Not anything like super like crazy.
Okay.
But
if you're splitting it, then it's like it becomes less.
Yeah. Maybe that's what it was. But like. Yeah, I haven't really tapped in. Aside from that, I haven't really tapped into that.
It's
at all.
It's very new. And I know that like Alan Kingdom was doing it like and having some success, like putting music out like that, and like if you get 20 people to buy it, and it's like when they resell it, like you still get paid off that resale. So that's where you can start to stack up, like when people are selling your shit, and you still get paid for their sales.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Man. Yeah. What was I gonna say? Yeah, it's just like a way to to make more money.
Yeah.
Do you have merch out right now?
Yeah, we just finished designing the 2 shirts and I think 1 hoodie for this tour.
Okay.
And I think prior to that we had this one shirt that was like it was like an all white tee. There was like a shirt pocket right here.
Okay.
And it had coins on a quarter just drawn on there. It was just a horrible shirt idea.
Jesus. They had like his face and everything?
Like,
like a pencil drawing of him?
No, it was like a silver quarter, and then like the engraving was just like a side view of like Coins' head.
Oh my god. His manager.
Yeah.
Dude, that's fucking hilarious.
And then the back of the shirt was just my backpack at the time.
Oh, that's a fire idea for your brand. The backpack.
It looked wild.
Yeah.
Like not flattering.
Dude, that's wild, man. Yeah, maybe we can put the pictures up of the merch if we can. Get the team to get some photographs, dude. So yeah, before we cut for intermission, tour coming up.
Yes,
you're going on tour. That's insane. This will be out hopefully before your first date, which is March 3rd. 4th. Okay. Nice. Congratulations, man. First tour.
Thank you.
Like it's been a long time coming. I know.
Is this your headlining tour?
It's not gonna be my headlining tour. I'm touring with 3 other rappers. Defo, Tabby, and then Gais Guevara, who is a Philly rapper.
Definitely heard of Tabby.
Yeah. He's been around for a while. Yeah. I recently just found Gais probably about. It was like a year or 2 ago.
How did you get tapped in on this tour?
So like just I've known Tabby for a while. Okay. Defo was his manager, and after talking with guys on Twitter for a while,
yeah,
we were well, we were all just kind of doing our thing, and then Tabby's manager was just like, "Hey, do you want to go on tour?" Mm-hmm. And I was like, "Yeah." And we were looking for a third act or a fourth act because Tabby's manager is also performing.
Okay,
that's Defo.
Okay,
and I was like, "Well, I could DM this dude I've been talking to because he's pretty sick."
Yeah.
And they're like, "All right." So I DM him, and he's just like, "Yeah, I'm down."
Dude,
and ever since he gave us the green light, like he's down to tour with us, everything's just been in full motion. Ever since then, I was like, "Wow,
that's gnarly.
Everything is working."
And so you guys all kind of work together to book the dates and everything, or like.
Well, I feel like Def.
Oh, okay. You got invited onto it.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
And then you got another guy onto it too, and then it's just like it's smooth. Yeah, and like we did a tour like 4 years ago, just a self-booked thing. So we all ended up investing, like 8 of us put in like $1,000 to make it happen, just between renting a van and hotels and all the shit that goes along with it.
Yeah, Alec.
Did you have to put an investment down for this?
Alec was telling me like, bro, like just make sure your money's right for the tour, like, cause I don't know, like
you gotta eat.
yeah, and we've already done trips like I went to Montana for like 5 days. And that was for like music video stuff.
Yeah.
And then we've been to California a handful of times for like shows or just like linking with people.
Yeah.
And my money management skills are poor.
Okay. Okay. That's why you have Alec.
Yeah. And now now I'm like working 2 jobs and I'm like saving up more.
Yeah.
And so like. Thank you. And when Alec was just like, "Yo, you got to be about your money on the tour," like it was a lot less nerve-wracking now because now I kind of got a handle on it. But
thank God,
those earlier trips, man,
they eat you up, man.
Just wild.
But and I know he's pretty smart with, like we were talking about, and he's got the LLC and everything, and you guys are writing off every single microphone or drum snare purchase.
Pretty much, yeah.
I mean, you have to nowadays, man. But yeah, this is the Almost Spicy podcast. We're going on intermission right now for a word from our sponsor. We'll be right back. Today's episode is sponsored by Labs. Do you want to learn guitar? Fuck. Eruption, Van Halen? Do you not know any of these songs? Sign up to my course today and I'll teach you my top 100 songs of rock and roll of the 70s. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Almost Spicy podcast. We are still here with Student 1. That's Student 1 for the audio only. That's trust us.
I promise.
We're down to 2 cameras. We were originally up 2 cameras, and now we're down 1.
Up 2 cameras. We were at 3 cameras. Now we're down.
Yeah, we were at 1. We went to 3. Then we went to 2. Okay. So
R.I.P. the camera.
Right. So how close are you with Tirawak?
Not very.
Very close.
I wish I was, but I feel like the extent of it was like we made the song. I saw her at Soundset. We met. She was like, "It's very nice to meet you. Text me sometime." And nice. We were like talking, and then she was on like Insecure and Dave, and then stopped texting me. I was just like, that adds up. Like that checks out.
I believe that. Yeah, I was listening to that Yin Yang track. It's Student 1 featuring Tirawak, and I like the balance message behind it. That's what we push a lot on this show, is kind of balance. And I think you're like talking about, do I smoke too much? Do I not?
Yeah.
What the lyric is, but it's like, I feel that.
Appreciate it. Thank you. All comes from being a Libra.
Oh, you're a Libra. Okay.
Yeah, that's.
Now, is it rude to ask a man's age? Because I was gonna bring your age up, but we don't have to go there.
No, I'm 28.
Okay. I thought you were 29.
Really?
I was just doing numbers because you said 94 in your rap. And so I was like trying to, but it's this year.
I'm 20. Yeah, it's this year. It's coming
Libra.
out.
Okay.
People think I'm like 21 still.
But they've thought that for like 5 years, right?
Yeah, it's just bizarre. I was like, where?
Yeah. Let's take the shot. DJ, back on my bullshit. Let us know.
So right here we have the wonderful $80 Patron.
You had to drop the price tag.
I didn't pay for it.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It's from my special little vintage.
Free Patron.
Free Patron.
Oh, hey, it's not free. Just told you how much it costs.
No.
Oh,
I never paid for it.
I
Yeah.
don't listen.
Yeah.
Cheers for balance.
Balance.
And for this Student One tour. You have a great fucking time, my guy.
Thank you, man.
Salud.
Salud.
I just want to let y'all know those are the perfectly like.
I love this. I just want to be in this moment. Am I even on camera? Like
No, you're not. Not on that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Nice. It's smooth, isn't it?
Wow.
Like
You don't
that.
even need lime salt.
You don't need any chaser. Like that shit. You can drink that straight, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, I just tried 1942 last night. It was so smooth, and it's 11 a.m. here where we're recording. No, we're drinking. Yeah, man.
Mid afternoon. It's like 3:48.
Starting the morning right.
Exactly. I mean, they say a lot of healthy like geriatrics do drink like pretty early, like
Yeah.
on an empty stomach and shit. Like one beer, like the Queen used to have I think 3 drinks a day, like
Damn.
towards the end. Yeah, I think that's why she died.
Wait.
That's a real conspiracy. She died. No, she actually died because she missed drinking. Like she forgot. She yeah. It's like you're on this medication. You can't drink, and she's like, I'm fucked.
Well, that's it then.
Do you miss the Queen?
We didn't really know each other.
You didn't
very
know
well.
each other?
I went to a cookie store, and this was
Nice.
This was after the Queen died.
Okay.
They had bags of weed with the Queen's face on it.
Holy shit.
Which is probably the funniest thing I saw that entire trip.
Well, there's so many different bags now. Like with some of the Obama runs, like they just couldn't stop it after that. Like
Oh, I haven't even had that.
you haven't had Obama runs?
No. Certified.
Certified.
Certified 10 out of 10. All right.
And
It's like the same with like carts and everything. Like I've seen like Slurp juice from like fucking Fortnite. Like and it's literally like a blue liquid. Like
We'll get you high. We'll send you to the hospital.
Yeah, exactly. At least you'll be high at the hospital. Yo, so after we took that shot, I wanted to bring up Soundset. Because, for everybody listening, anybody from Minnesota, you know what Soundset is. It's not around anymore. It's part of the whole lore about it. How was that Soundset experience for you?
It was surreal.
What year was that?
That was 2019.
Okay.
yeah, I mean, I think what's crazy is like people don't know how long Soundset's been going.
Yeah.
And also before Rolling Loud, it was the largest hip hop festival in the United States.
Yeah, yeah.
And
single day, I think.
yeah. And the other thing too, we used to joke about this. It was just like, oh, they stopped Soundset right before COVID happened.
Yeah.
And we're always just like, Atmosphere created COVID.
Yeah.
He's like, just so all these, he's just like,
I heard that before.
he's just like, yeah, I'm not gonna do it this next year, but you know what? I don't think any other person should either. He's like, yeah, it's like, yeah, we're just gonna, this is gonna be a thing.
Does that work out?
That's our conspiracy. That's why it stopped. Is
Everybody's just like, Slug, what are we gonna do? He's just like, we'll be fine.
Trust me.
Trust me.
Cash out. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I always thought that they were able to make a lot of money off that because I would just imagine. Like, I'm just, going on a whim.
It was a huge festival. What year did you perform?
2019 was the one.
2019. Oh shit. Because because I was like thinking like my first festival was Soundset, and that was like in 2016. That was like right after I like graduated high school or something like that. And yeah, I just always like think about that because of all the different like local artists that I saw then. That was like actually really cool to see. So I just didn't know if I like may have like somehow not seen you if you like performed at that time. But
2016, who was performing that year? Yeah. Wow.
Bro, do you know how many times I've seen Tyler the Creator perform? Just take a guess. Take a guess.
5.
I think it's like 13.
13?
13 or 14 times.
Bro,
I've seen Tyler
you
the
witnessed the
Creator.
growth then.
Yeah,
The
for
metamorphosis.
real. Yeah, it's dope. Like, I used to be a big fan, and like, I saw him wear this shirt, or like, there's another piece that he wore too, like, and then he released it 5 months later. So it was so dope to me to like buy it, 5 months after I had just seen him wearing being like, this kind of design. And yeah, he definitely pushed us, and we always talk about it, just, to to design and like put out clothes or like do music or like
absolutely,
just growing up with Lucius and like in high school and shit, like
he's such an like inspiration. Like he's like OP.
Dude, he's awesome. I mean, yeah, he's definitely main character.
It's like it's just like down like to the mindset. Even it's just like I don't know. Like I'll hear him talk at like I think there was like a. He had an interview with some dude that worked for Converse.
Okay.
And I don't know, it was like an hour-long thing, and it was just...
Oh, I saw that. Yeah. There's a Minnesota person who was in the crowd that asked you.
Oh, really?
K-Stacks, I think. And right now, I thought you were talking about Lucius being such an inspiration. Him too. But Tyler, of course.
Shout out Lucius.
Shout out Lucius. Shout out Pharrell. Shout out Louis Vuitton. Just kidding. Wait, I hope that, Pharrell can make it through that, position that he's got at Louis Vuitton now.
Yeah.
If you ever heard, Asterix West or Kanye talk about Virgil, dying and like not being the first one to get cancer while being in that position, it's like
oh shit,
it's weird. It's a
that's
stressful thing. Imagine having to come up with Louis Vuitton's fucking designs, like
hell nah.
So we wish the best for Pharrell Williams
for real
on the Almost Spicy podcast.
Honestly.
That's a clip.
I'm excited for that. I'm excited for that.
Now, do you still play Guitar Hero?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, like not anywhere near as much as I did when I was like at my peak.
At your peak?
That was back in like 8th grade, though.
Can you actually play guitar?
Absolutely not. I mean, like I feel like if I had somebody like teach me how to play, I've never had somebody like
sit you down and like run
like,
it.
My homie Corey, who produced this like most recent album, like he would bring his guitar over. Well, I mean, like when he did bring his, that's how we made like one of the songs.
Okay.
But he knew how good I was at Guitar Hero, and he was just like showing me a couple chords, and I had the dexterity to like play them, but like I just played those chords and then we just moved on and made music. Like I mean, like
you would play the chords, nothing would happen.
Like if we spent a day like just playing guitar, I bet I could like figure something out.
Yeah. What's that Kites song? There's a ukulele on it.
Yeah.
Okay, because I want to talk about your vibe, like your music. Like there's your hip hop, but like you also get this kind of like indie, right? Like kind of soft. Like I don't know what do you like beyond. Rap, what do you feel like your genre kind of is, or what do you like feel like your niche, your lane is like?
I feel like I feel like indie would be a good descriptor.
Indie, right?
I don't know. I feel like I just had this like 2 years into making music, I had this like just wild urge to just like make music that I don't know how to explain it. Like, I just like had this like urge to like start believing like, oh, I should just start trying to make all kinds of music because like I like music. Like, I don't know. Like, I was just like rapping for a while and like, not that I was getting bored of it or anything. I was just like, I also like just like indie stuff or like punk music. Like I just started listening to this band called The Garden.
Right. At that time or as of recent?
No, not back then.
Okay, right now.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. They're indie as fuck. Like they're pretty weird.
Like and like just I used to listen to stuff like that, and I like it wouldn't really like transfer over into the creative process for me. And then I was like, why not? And then I started to like make stuff like I have this song called Nippy.
Okay.
That's like kind of like a swing song.
Yeah, right? I think I played that video. You're outside in your boxers.
Yeah, that was a nightmare, by the way.
Jesus, but that's how you get the good art.
Yeah. And then there's other joints like I have a song called Race where there's just drum patterns are different and the vibe is different. Like once it starts to feel like I'm not in a comfort zone, I get really excited. So,
okay, that's awesome.
So I don't really like know how to like put that into like one description.
Yeah. No, but that makes a lot of sense though. You like the not being what you know you can do already.
Yeah. I like
it's just like the same 808 kind of stuff or like it's something about the culture maybe like shows some of these rappers to be like today's rock stars really, and it's like Yeah, it's dope with this image, but then like you can actually do whatever you want to with the sound.
Yeah.
But so, and then just like going back to your influences, like, cause you have like have people compared you a lot to Lil Dicky?
People have compared me a lot to Childish Gambino, which is fine.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
Like, which is fine.
I would say if you had to pick or choose Lil Dicky or Childish Gambino.
I didn't mean to offend.
I have gotten a Lil Dicky comparison, flow-wise.
Okay. But I think he stole your flow, honestly.
What? He's been
know,
around
like-
before I was, wasn't he? Or no?
I don't know. He was freestyling like, and you guys have like, there's like one track where he like, you guys have something really similar.
Oh, really?
I don't know if you've ever. Yeah, I would have to pull it up, but.
Show me. It's
Pull it up.
But no, but shout out Lil Dicky, shout out Childish. But
Okay.
as far as influences
Yeah.
go, I think like Doom is a big one. He always has been, honestly.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. for real. Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah, he could just be Doom posturing us. Like,
Yeah, that's fair.
that also might be like his family might not like that I said that, but you know what I mean.
Cut that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the other thing is he's like a local, technically.
Yeah, he was on Rhyme Sayers, wasn't he?
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's always mind blowing to me to think about that.
Yeah.
That is weird.
I also missed the first year I went to Soundset, he was there and I didn't know he was.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was 2011? Was that the year?
Who was he there? Was he there with Madlib?
It
Oh, you said 2011?
was either 2011 or 2012.
Oh, okay. I had no idea that this was going on.
Yeah.
So he was actually there. That's great.
He was there, I swear.
What? I mean, it makes sense.
And I was just like, who's this guy with a mask? I was like,
You're like,
stupid.
what is that, a mask?
Yeah. Some other influences, Aesop Rock.
Okay, that's like a rapper's rapper, right?
Yeah.
Rappers, right?
Yeah.
There's a few of these rappers where it's like, okay, and somebody you like, you know how some people only listen to melody, like, and some people only listen to lyrics. Which one are you?
I'm just now starting to find like a balance between the two.
Which is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, because like if we're talking about like the influences that made me want to make music, it's the Dooms and the Aesop Rocks. Slug.
Okay. So you were listening to these words
Yes.
and making sense out of them and feeling emotions based off of what they were saying.
100%. And now I'm starting to listen to people who like not just have like a sense of melody, but people who can like dynamically just bend their voice, like Cardi.
Okay.
Or there's this rapper named Z Loopers.
Z Loopers, yeah. I saw Z Loopers open for Danny Brown. Like, we were gonna book him. It was like $2,000. Like, it would have been a good idea.
That would have been insane.
But he's only gotten bigger, so it's like, you know, I don't know how much he costs to book today.
He's with Earl.
He's with Danny Brown, but he's chills with Earl too, or okay?
Yeah.
They have tracks, I know. Yeah.
But he is on Bruiser Brigade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out Danny Brown podcast.
real.
This is the Danny Brown podcast.
Who else have I been listening to recently? People who like, people who bend their voice, like Z Loopers, Cardi. I've been listening to this dude named Fiji Macintosh.
I've heard that
recently.
name. Yeah.
I went through his entire catalog in a day.
And can we talk about that? Like how fun it is to go through an entire catalog of an artist, like,
haven't-
even if it's a classic artist. For me, like I'm a '70s music kind of guy, so like you
Yeah.
know, never listened to an entire Rolling Stones catalog, but like to do that, you know,
Yeah, bro,
is, like,
it was
a challenge.
That whole day was like an an audio movie, like because
Which is beautiful,
I
man.
don't do that shit a lot. Like usually, like my ADHD kicks in,
Yeah.
and I'll like wanna just throw my like songs on shuffle. But I just like ran through every album.
That's gnarly. You struggle. You don't do that normally. I think people think that musicians listen to a lot more music than we actually do. Sometimes,
Yeah,
you know
absolutely.
What I mean?
I feel like it has to kind of coincide with what I'm looking for at the time. And at the time, I was looking for people who like are really just like, hey,
You bend your voice a lot.
I try to,
Yeah.
but like hearing people like,
but it's a seller. Like it's something that differentiates you. Like you're doing. Yeah, I can hear it.
appreciate
You're
it.
doing
Thank
that.
you.
You're doing it different.
Also another
Yeah.
rapper that I want to mention that bends their voice a lot. Yeet's pretty cool.
I love Yeet.
Yeah, all right, bet. All right, cool.
No,
cool.
like his song Shake.
Oh,
Dude, like that song,
That's a
I
classic,
fucking
right? At this point,
love.
it's already a classic.
It makes me dance every time, like hey, oh, you know, like the background vocals. But it's so fucking good. I love it, and he has such a diversity of like sounds.
yes.
Like genuinely a fully diverse catalog. Like I think there's
That's wild.
there's like one of his songs like RGB, which is just like all like high pitch auto tune like. And it sounds so, and it's super short too. It's like I think it's like a 1 to 2 minute song.
Well, that's what the stim heads need, right? We need just 1 to 2 minutes, like while I'm hitting this and then scrolling on that. You seen these
punching
TikToks where they? What you said? What?
Just punching in.
Yeah, exactly.
hit down, log out.
You seen these TikToks with like they got like Subway Runner on half the screen and then like a thirst trap on the other half or whatever, like a podcast like or a Family Guy in a third of the screen. Like it's just ridiculous.
Like podcasts with like Minecraft.
Yeah, bro, like a whole bro.
Runs, like
I can't, bro. Like literally, bro. Fucking. We ask all of our guests about their thoughts on extraterrestrials, aliens, UFOs.
Ooh.
Have you ever seen a UFO?
I don't know. Maybe.
You don't know.
I feel like I've seen weird shit in the sky.
Yeah, I've seen a comet.
okay,
Yeah.
no. Here's the real question right here. Okay, aliens,
Yeah.
yes or no?
Oh yeah.
Just yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's
That's
it.
it.
That's it.
That's
That's all we needed.
Absolutely.
Cut the cameras,
Yeah,
let the
yeah.
lights roll. Like that's it. Aliens.
Student 1 believes in aliens. That's the headline. You know,
Cut off all the cameras. Just start looking up crazy shit.
right, exactly. FBI pulls up. They're like, you're looking that crazy shit up. Fucking, we need a title for this video. Student 1 on, and this is our title for every guest, by the way. Student 1 on Kanye West, Drake, Meek Mill,
Yeah.
COVID-19, etc.
Like you think like the almost spicy name? No, we got the spiciest of fucking titles.
Yeah.
We
okay.
just like no. Okay, so we like to like clip certain things and we like to like find and come up with like crazy shit. So conspiracy. No. We just ask like stupid questions. So like we're gonna ask a few just like dumbass questions that
I'm
we
ready.
got
You can
going.
tell we asked dumb questions.
Yeah, that's the entire thing.
No,
I still had a music question, but you go first.
Yeah. Well, no. Let's keep this serious and let's do all the like dumb shit.
What's on your rider?
my writer.
What's on your rider when you're performing? Your performance rider.
Wait.
Your list of demands at the venue.
Oh, I have none.
You don't have a rider?
Nah.
Don't let these fucking NPR motherfuckers listen to this shit, man.
That's wild.
He's
Yeah,
got no rider. Get him.
I just pull up high, get a couple drink tickets, and then that's it.
Mike Coda had a good First Avenue asked her, and I think she said like a few grams of weed would be nice.
What?
Like on the like Kanye West was like the Hennessy slushy machine, like on go in every city and shit. Like I think he would bring his own thing.
That's
his
wild.
own. Yeah.
I had no idea.
You didn't know that's what it was called, a rider? That's funny. You've been a musician for 9-10 years?
Yeah, nah.
10 years?
10 years. I'm coming on 10 years.
And that's why you're breaking right now.
yeah.
They say overnight success is made in 10 years. It actually takes 10 years to fucking break an artist.
Oh, actually?
Yeah, dude.
Damn.
We had a few points here. I had read an article, were dinosaurs even real? There's actually not a lot of proof that they even were real because like some of the bones were just made out of like whey protein isolate or some shit. I don't know. I don't know if you guys had anything on this.
Do you know what whey is?
No. While you're looking that up, I got one more.
I'm not even gonna explain.
Why are shoes made out of rubber and then we don't touch grass anymore? And they don't want us to be having our feet on the actual grass or the earth because the shoes have rubber and that breaks the connection, the current. Does any of this make sense? Yes.
I mean, I follow, but
I'll be honest. There's rocks that exist and Legos. Both of the things that will break your fucking feet.
yeah.
Oh, Legos will break your fucking feet.
It's like last thing I want to be stepping on is a sharp rock and or a Lego.
You will like lose your walking privileges temporarily.
Yeah.
Do shit like that.
Yeah,
OG bad news.
it destroys your entire day just with that one small step. It's like they say, like the fucking moon landing is like one small step for man. No, like one small step and that's the end of man.
on a fucking Lego. Did we go to the moon, student one?
I really hope we did.
Why haven't we been back?
Because that shut was fake as hell.
Was it?
You heard it here first.
We're trying to get suppressed. Are you vaccinated?
Shut up.
Bro, I started the last episode.
No. I'm bleeping that one out.
Yeah.
We can't say that shit.
We're
Yeah. No. Would you ghostwrite for Drake?
He wanted to ask you this.
Yeah, 100%.
There we go. We got it.
That settles that.
Also, it's mainly because like one of my idol artists wrote for Drake for a little while.
Party Next Door.
Guess. If you you get 2 more guesses.
You guess.
No, I'm not saying.
You're not gonna guess. It's not Party Next Door. Is it a name you said today already?
No.
Okay.
I forgot this one.
Action Bronson.
Close.
Oh, I'm close.
No.
Okay, say it. Let us know.
It's this girl named Stara.
No, I would not have got that.
She the first time I heard of her, it was when I heard that she wrote "Pick Up the Phone" by Travis Scott.
Whoa.
And she actually
talk about a massive song.
Yeah. And she actually like has her version of "Pick Up the Phone" where she's like hitting like the "I call you up" like that.
Oh,
part.
I have heard it. Okay, no, that sounds amazing. I kind of want to hear that right now.
It's so insane. Her voice.
Yeah, I'm gonna have
is so
to write that one
perfect.
down. Like, look that shit up.
She also had. She just recently dropped an album called "The Longest Interlude." That thing
Okay.
front to back is flames. She also wrote "Hotline Bling."
No way.
That makes sense. Those 2 songs kind of like,
Yeah, they do kind of.
you know.
Yeah.
Kind of coincide with each other for sure.
Yeah.
Some about the melodies, those
are big
pockets.
songs.
Those are huge songs, and they're just
Yeah.
fun songs. Like, also like at that.
For real.
You know what I mean? So we got about 3 minutes left. Is there anything that you want to promote or talk about, or we can discuss? I know we didn't really get into the album. What's the run length on that?
It's probably like 35 minutes.
That's all. That's a record, man.
Yeah.
And actually, one of my last questions was, what's your release strategy like with this record? Like,
For this, it's been a lot more than any other release.
yeah,
Just
you're
cause
taking it way more serious.
Yeah. Like just so much more like went into it.
The investment, right? I mean, just
Yeah.
off of a mixing engineer. Because what I learned in school, and not to cut you off, it's just like, if you're gonna pay, thousands of dollars for a mixing engineer, like, you better at least put a few hundred towards the cover art and like the mastering, like at least get that done right. And it's like, if it should be proportionate, and like we
Yeah.
always come back to the balance of stuff.
Absolutely. And like since like we put so much into this, like I don't know, prior to us dropping this album, like my only concern was really just kind of like making the music, and then just when it drops, like make a post. And outside of that, I never really did much.
Yeah.
And like my manager's my best friend. Like as my manager, he was just like,
Yeah.
we can't keep doing this. And like,
You're like, listen, buddy.
yeah. And like, I don't know, like, and I knew how much was going into this
Yeah.
album that we just dropped, so it was just like,
Well, it's a feeling, right?
Yeah.
And it's been 10 years, and it's like,
yeah, it's just like, all right, you don't even have to tell me, like this time, like,
yeah.
and
I already
before you
know.
could
Yeah.
before you could even say anything, I just started to like make TikToks and
Okay.
like,
Yeah, no, I've seen you come up on my page a lot on the TikTok, like, because you do a variety of different stuff on there, which is dope.
yeah. And now it's just like a matter of just like being active.
It's just
and
that, man. It's just like being out there,
Pretty much.
Did you do singles from this? You did a few, right?
I did Silly Math and Early Tyler. Yeah, two.
And it's been
singles.
6 months since the first single?
Yes.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
And you're going to do more videos?
Yeah. We have one for Kites coming out.
Okay. That's always been a big one for you, right? You've performed that for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
And it's now just coming out.
Yeah,
Which is
yeah.
crazy.
It's
And your
just-
live show, we didn't even really get into your live show, but how do you feel about, like, being an opening act and, like, maybe now transitioning to being, like, a headlining act?
It's nice, honestly.
You've been would you agree you've been an opening act, and we all have been opening acts for 10 years?
yeah. And it's honestly just been lit. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, because I still feel like in a live setting, like, there's still a lot of things that I gotta learn.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to just like interacting with the crowd and like
you've got one of the better live performances in the state. Just from what I've seen.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Yes, sir.
I feel like, yeah, and I don't know. I feel like I'm really critical about it and shit.
Of course.
Like just with little things, but yeah, no, like. Also, just like the opening acts, like just doing that for so long has just been nice, just because I got to like meet so many people around the scene. Like
honestly,
yeah,
and support like artists, and it's like, and at the end of the day, you can just hope that those artists are there to support you, and it's like,
right.
But we can't control what anybody does. We can only control what we do.
Yeah.
So it's like when you do something, you can't ever really expect anything in return. Like I've been burned too many times where it's like you can only if you want something done, you do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I've always been like. I feel like I'm overly forgiving in like situations like that when it comes to just like reciprocating with the support and stuff like that. Just because like my time management is trash and
I think we all have shit time management.
Yeah.
I know I do.
Yeah, so it's hard for me to like come down on people for like either like not showing up and stuff like that.
Yeah, or like it could be anything.
It could be anything.
Yeah, but it's something like that. Yeah, it's like, and then you're trying to take it serious, but it's like other people can affect you for sure. So luckily, like you have a good manager and everything. And
yeah, thank God,
dude. Yeah. So yeah, man, I think we're just down to this camera right now, or this one right here.
Okay.
And Off the Dust, man. What's your favorite track off it?
Woo.
Not Kites. No.
It's not Kites. That's my friend group's favorite song.
Okay.
Shameless, or. Yeah.
Oh, I've heard some of those tracks. Yeah, man. Just on the last note, on my last note is like you have a lot of tracks that are like you're doing the right thing, where it's like they're catchy and like for performance, like they've always been super fun. Like over the last 5 years, watching you perform, like this cohesive set of like interactive, like fun tracks. So it's like keep evolving, man. And thanks for coming on, dude, and talking to us, man.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you for having me.
No, it's been awesome just to like. One of my biggest things is just to learn more about like this Minneapolis music scene, because it's so diverse and we have such a great scene. So it's cool just seeing like a lot of people like start to get like their come up and stuff like that. So it's really cool. So I'm happy to have you on, and it's been a pleasure. I've learned a lot. I think it's very fascinating. It's been fun. So. Yeah, it's been good. But yeah.
Say that one more time. It's just we were not on all these cameras.
No, you're fine. We don't need to record this. That one's still going.
Okay, that's the big one?
Yeah. No, we're good there.
We heard. No. I heard.
No, this has been the Almost Spicy podcast. Thank you for tuning in. Like, subscribe, follow. Also follow Student One. Listen to his music. Listen to his new album.
Off the Dust, out now.
Please go plug that. It's big stuff, big moves. Got anything to finish off with?
That's it, man. Thanks for watching the Almost Spicy podcast. Student One, thank you. Oh, that's what you're doing. It's like, it's spicy. Clip.
Clip. This is falling.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Cut.